finals are happening.
Welcome to the LooneyBin Podcast, episode 5, brought to you by LooneyBin Productions. I'm Nick.
And I'm Henry.
I'm Nate.
I'm John.
And I'm Preston.
And we are going to kick it off, as we always do, with the Webster Word of the Day. There are currently 2 points for Henry/Teddy, 2 points for me. I am the judge of who has the best answer, whether it is the goofiest when nobody knows, or if it is the closest if everybody does, or vice versa, or whatever. But I get to decide. So, our word of the day is rescind. R-E-S.
Rescind?
C-I-N-D. Rescind.
Rescind. I definitely heard of this, but I don't know what the definition is.
I
think I got
then
it.
You haven't heard of it. Then.
All right, so re makes me think of like retract, rescind, receipt, but so rescind is actually you come back in from a cold day, right? And you take out your dick to go take a pee-pee, and it's rescind, and it's rescinded inside of you, and yep. So similar to like retracted?
Yes,
but this is specifically to the penis. Gotcha. Yeah. Rescind. Yep.
Took us 5 minutes for that penis to get dropped.
Not even.
Yeah, that's true.
So yep, whenever you're cold and you look down, just go, that little boy is rescinding in there. Little boy pee-pee.
So I have a guess. I think it's definitely similar to the fact of that re usually means something backwards, something retractable.
Right.
So, but rescind just seems something with manual labor. I couldn't tell you what.
Okay.
But let me think. Okay, rescind. Okay, so you got a reciprocating saw. Okay, that's what the saw. Okay, rescind. Maybe you're rescinding a screw. That's what's happening.
Rescind, and I'm gonna explain further.
So I have my drill. I wish it was a Milwaukee, but it isn't. And it's an impact drill. And I'm pulling out. So I'm going in reverse.
Right.
Click the switch, and then I'm pulling up, and that's rescinding the screw.
There it is. All right.
Nice. All right. I agree.
Let's go.
All right. So rescind is actually.
Thank you.
So in olden times, what they would do is, so fire was really kind of a valuable resource, back in the day. And so you would make a fire, and you don't want to just throw that fire away. You put a lot of, you didn't know if you're going to eat that day. And so that's valuable energy that you put into that fire, trying to get that thing to start, right? And so back in the day, what they would actually do is, instead of dousing the fire or anything like that, they would wait for it to kind of die down and die off. And then they would take those hot coals, and they would kind of get them in like a nest of greenery, so it wouldn't burn. And then they would wrap them up and take them with them wherever they were traveling to. And then they would use those hot coals to start their next fire. And so rescinding is actually the process of taking those hot coals from the previous fire and starting a new fire.
Interesting.
That's definitely
Cinder.
a Hobbin answer. Like, I felt like Kent was right behind
Thank
me.
you. That comes from Emily Hobbin's education through Laura Ingalls Wilder. Thank you.
I'm glad I got to know her.
So
Let's hear it. Final answer.
this will be very scientific for you, you
Simple brain.
thick-skulled out there.
Impeccable.
But when you look at a mold under microscope, right? It reaches out looking for sugar and
Wait, what
food and
does?
such.
Mold.
Mm-hmm. Like
Yep.
Anyway, when it finds food, then it creates a new mass, right?
Right.
But sometimes that mass will go back to the original spot just because they can't find any food where it is. So that is the process of rescinding.
Ah,
So it rescinds.
Wow, what an incredible answer! But
Thank you.
John gets the point.
what?
Because the definition of rescind is to take away or remove. And he said,
Damn
he's
it.
taking out that screw. So
Damn.
very close. So John, well played.
Great job,
you
John.
knew the whole time there.
Great work.
Thank you, Total Clean.
And give him the point.
And the point is presented to you.
Where is it?
It's up there. It's
Oh.
right there.
No, it's right there.
Yeah. It's right, yep.
All right,
You
so
almost
I
got it.
now. All right.
There it is.
Wow, it feels great to win finally.
I know.
Can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
And that kind of spreads it out. So now we got 2-2 and John with 1.
Yeah.
That's
2-2
great.
and John.
Awesome.
One
Cool.
John.
2-2
Well,
and
So,
one.
boys, what do we got
All
in
right.
store for today?
Well, today Nick actually came up with this idea, so I'll let him.
Yes. Very excited. One of those things where you talk about it, and you're like, wait a minute, this is a podcast. Let's stop talking about it. The Enneagram test. We all took it before hopping on this week's podcast, and we are going to pretty much go through it, comments. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to get into.
Yeah.
But I think that to start off, we're going to describe all the types and guess each other's type, what number we think each other would be.
That's what we
great.
thought was a good idea.
Awesome.
Okay.
And this is the test off of Truity, right?
Yep, Trudy Enneagram.
Yes.
Truity.com.
Our sponsor for today, Trudy.com.
And they were gonna try and freaking, bitch us into buying their premium membership. And
Well, then they gave
get
it
their
to
analysis.
us, they're
Okay.
but
they
there's
sponsored us.
free
Okay.
website. to
I have
look
them.
at
I have them pulled up. So, there's 9 types, all dealing with different types of personalities. Number 1 is the reformer, the rational, idealistic type, principled, purposeful, self-controlled, and a perfectionistic.
All right.
Number 2 is the helper, the caring, interpersonal type, demonstrative, generous, people-pleasing, and possessive.
Nice.
3 is the achiever, the success-oriented, pragmatic type, adaptive, excelling, driven, and image conscientious. The individualist is number 4, the sensitive, withdrawn type, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, and temperamental. Number 5 is the investigator, the intense, cerebral type, perceptive, innovative, secretive, and isolated. Number 6 is the loyalist, the committed, security-oriented type, engaging, responsible, anxious, and suspicious. 7 is the enthusiast, the busy, fun-loving type, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, and scattered. 8 is the challenger, the powerful, dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational. And 9 is the peacemaker, the easygoing, self-effacing type, receptive, reassuring, agreeable, and complacent.
Beautiful.
So if you remember that,
if you remember all of that,
We got the gist.
we got the
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up on my
yeah.
phone.
We should all pull it up.
wonderful.
So we got the
I'm gonna
reformer,
watch over
the
your shoulder
helper,
here.
the achiever, the individualist, the investigator, the loyalist, the enthusiast, the challenger, and the peacemaker.
All right. So I think that Nate kind of gave us a little tease earlier today. He was talking about his type,
Oh yeah,
I would never-
and
Nate's always teased on.
and I'm gonna go with. Can you give me number 2? Just I want to
Number 2, the helper,
the caring
and
interpersonal type.
Yep.
Generous, people pleasing.
Yep.
That's my guess. I think Nate. I mean, I was thinking of the caretaker, the caring, and that was the only one where I heard that in the definition.
Yep.
And I was like, I think that's Nate. I think that Nate was the caretaker. So that's my guess. It's 2.
I also agree. I also think no. I also think
mine's number
he
4.
could be a 5. I think he's a 2 or a 5. The investigator, the intense cerebral type. He's a thinker.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 for Nate.
Yeah. But I also know that we have taken
Very
this
generous.
test before, and he was a 2 before.
Oh,
All right, so
thanks for. All right. So thanks for playing.
But that was last year,
Yeah,
and
that
my
was last
results
year.
differed from last year.
Right. John, did you have a guess?
Yes.
Or Henry.
Now, what's the consensus?
My initial thought, because I know obviously Nate likes problem solving,
Yeah.
was that 5 would be the one. But the thing is, with 5, it says the intense. I see the cerebral type and like the perceptive, innovative. Secretive, yeah, I can see it. Nate likes being, alone once in a while.
Yeah. He likes his alone time.
But I don't know about the intense. But then I guess I do. Maybe intense in my head is more negative than I think. Because intense could be, we're playing a game, we're super in it, we're intense in the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
But when I think of intense, I'm just like, you're gonna fuck me up.
Oh, he's intense.
Yeah.
Chill out, buddy.
Yeah, don't shred your pants type of intense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would still go with 5. My guess is 5.
Okay. Henry, your thoughts? You said also 5?
I'd say 5, yeah.
Okay. Nate, would you like to reveal?
My highest percentage was 2, the helper.
Again.
And I'll...
What's your second? Do you know what your second is?
I will. I'm going to pull it up. I emailed myself, sorry. It's just going to take 2 seconds.
Oh, you're good. You're great. You're grand. Just want to shout out the listeners. Thanks for listening, coming back every week. We appreciate you, loyal subjects.
Except for next week.
Yeah, we won't be here next week. We're going on Christmas break. Sorry to inform you. We'll be back probably around the turn of the new year. Probably around maybe first or second week of January. So, yep.
All right. My test results.
It's actually
December. Because the last time I took it... this is so funny. Oh, my gosh. Last time I took it was December 12th. Last year.
It's December 9th
And it's
today.
December 9th.
Oh, my God.
That's kind of funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah, almost a year.
View results.
Lenars.
Okay.
Lenars, thank you.
My 2 was a 98% match.
This year?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I kind of want to know how much it differed from last year.
I'll look at that next.
Okay.
3 was my second with a
3.
91%. So type 3
The
is also
achiever.
known as the achiever.
Oh.
Want to be successful and admired by other people and very conscious of their public image. And then 4 was set with 71%. So it went down 2, 3,
Individualist.
4.
And that's a
The
stretch. Anything
individualist.
after 1 and 2, I don't know. I feel like they're
Right.
pushing for it.
Yeah, so
Unless you got high 90s for all of them, but
yeah, 2 and 3, 98, 91.
nice.
So
3 intrigues me by you because I don't really see you as some guy that's trying to
Conquer a company.
I know you have goals, but I don't know if you're totally goal driven in my eyes, or just like the self-image thing is what gets me because I don't really see you as
oh really?
Caring
as
about
like
your self-image.
well, no, I know you care about your self-image, but it's not like I need to dress up to go to this function, or you feel like you're comfortable in your skin and you
Confident.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think you do fit 3 once we get to the side of LooneyBin Productions or something when we're doing business.
Yeah, something you're
Because
passionate about.
everything
for sure.
in that it all lines up. You want the self-image of the company, which is like you're taking it as your baby, but you're not supposed to treat your company as your baby. That's the saying. But initially though, I feel like how I see those traits come up.
Yes, I've worked with Nate for a couple years now, and I know that when he wants to do something, he wants to do it right, and he wants to get it done and make it something that he can be proud of, which is where I see that in him. So I guess I can see that.
I think I definitely agree with those things. I think where the self-image comes in isn't necessarily physical self-image, although I like to look good and stuff,
Right.
but I think it's more of how people see me. So being like a
Perceived as like a caring.
more like role model type thing.
Okay.
So I don't like with CFing
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I like to be seen as someone who is like a role model figure and who people can look up to. And when people come back to me or when I hear they saw that or I affected them in some positive way because of those things, that's huge for me because I want to be that person and that role model. And so I think that's where it comes in with self-image.
Amen. Yeah,
I can agree.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Hey, do you have a person that was close to you or related to you, a little famous person? Yeah. What were your famous people?
It was interestingly enough, when I was looking at it, basically the entire second half of the names were all music artists.
Huh.
Oh, I mean, you're talented musically for 100% sure.
But it's just interesting how those
The occupation kind of correlates with the personality.
right.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I also had the same thing in mind, and we'll get to that. But
Yeah.
I also had a lot of one occupation in mind.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
I dig it.
and I can't tell if that
And we
was
can-
just because they were famous. Or,
Yeah, I think that part
Yeah.
of that does have to do with you're going to recognize celebrities.
Right.
You know, after you get past your, presidents and world leaders, it's like, okay, who are you going to pick? You're going to pick actors
Yeah.
and
Oh,
musicians.
Brad Pitt. Oh, there's
Yeah.
But I didn't see hardly like Donald or
Donald Trump.
Donald Glover.
Oh.
Or wait, was it Donald Glover or
Yeah, it's Donald Glover.
I think that's what
Childish
you said.
Gambino.
I think that's
was
what you
it?
said.
Yeah. So that was, and he's a musical artist too. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of
Big
actors.
creative mind.
There are a lot of musical artists, but not a lot of actors and like stuff like that. But I think this would be a good way. So I'm not like going through my entire results. I think we go through and do kind of like a
The guess first.
yeah,
and then,
guess first,
yeah.
kind of like a basic of what they are, and then we can kind of dive into. There's some really cool things on this website. Like one interesting one was like what you, addiction would be like, what you're likely to be addicted to, and so
didn't
that
see
one
that
we can
one.
look at.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, we'll get
a little
into
bit
it, John.
later,
Don't
but-
you worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm clean.
And kind of
I'm
like
clean.
downfalls of our personality types and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
we'll
sure.
get
Yeah.
into that in a little bit.
And also, that's the Enneagram Institute. .com
Where
that we're
these
getting
analysis-
that information.
Yes.
So after your test, go to that site, get all this fun information.
Right.
Okay, so I think we'll just go down the W. John. So, I got to look at this list again here.
Yes.
I took this test in November, so I don't think I'll change
No.
as much. But again, we took multiple of these tests in greeters training, and they all are kind of correlated together, and it's just kind of reinforced every single. I've taken a decent amount of tests just recently, and they all seem to line up, which is, I mean, nice in a way, but
Okay, John. I kind of already know what you are, but I'm gonna say if I didn't know you, I would say 8, the challenger, powerful and dominating type, self-confident, decisive, willful, and confrontational.
I do like confrontation.
But since you do
Wait,
know it,
I was gonna say
what were you going to
we
say,
do
though?
know it, John.
I also think he is number 3, an achiever, but I think those two can play into each other.
I was going to say I was between the achiever and the individualist, so 3 and 4.
Really?
Because not so much the dramatic self-absorbed side of it, but the expressive sensitive side. I mean, John being in relationships, it's a big part of who he is and decisions and how he cares for others. It's not all the way to the caring, the helper, but that idea of again, and sensitive makes it sound like it's a negative thing,
Right.
but it's not. Is that you're aware of
Others' feelings?
yes, on an emotional level as well as an interactive level. So
For
I'm
sure.
between 3 and 4 because 3 is a giveaway. The success oriented, adaptive, excelling, driven. I mean, that's just a given.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing I know about John. He will stop at nothing to get what he wants.
Yeah, that's the sad truth.
I was also looking at 3 definitely for number 1, and then I want to say I definitely, I don't know, maybe like 4, like 3, 4, and then 2 or 3, 4, and 8.
Yeah.
Those are definitely the ones that stand out though.
Yeah. Henry, your guess? Oh, you got a mic?
I would say my top would be 1, the reformer.
Really?
Because I definitely have seen the principled, purposeful, self-controlled side of
Yeah,
John.
the rational.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, there's some of the 3 in there, obviously.
Yeah.
And 2. So I'd say 1, 3, 2.
Yeah, that's the thing about all these. They kind of like play into each other in different
Right.
ways.
Yeah.
Right.
They
Definitely.
coincide with
No,
each
but
other.
I'd say the
Right.
top is 1.
All right, John. Give it to us. Give us the big reveal.
So I'm at number 1.
Really?
Yeah. Here, I can pull it up right here.
The performer. Oh my God! But 1, 3, and 8 were your toppest. Toppest.
Yeah.
That's where.
There it is.
So
There it
I
is.
mean, I definitely knew 3 because in these other tests I've
Are you
taken.
tied, though?
Yeah, what's your percentage below that?
Are you tied for one? Keep going.
going.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
3 is 98 and
Oh,
1
that-
is 97. You're actually a 3.
Oh, right.
But 1, I mean, you might as well be a 1 and a 3.
Yeah.
Right. I think. Yeah, because like in a
I think those two play into each other very well.
100%. Because like in the other tests I've taken, it always says achiever. Like that was the biggest one, so
Yeah.
that makes sense there. But then again, like from an academic point, I think that like my academic integrity plays over to how I view everything else, which is just I don't know whether that's good or bad, but that's why I think 1 is so prominent because I don't know, just the way it happens.
Yeah. Henry, you're the only one that gets a 1. God damn, you know you know him better than us.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. Does it say decisive on that one?
I think on the 8 is the decisive. Decisive, confrontational, and self-confident.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't
See
know.
what
I think they're
John
super
said?
fun. I think 6 I was like a 72, and then
Really? 6?
but look, 7
What?
was an 82, 8 was an 83, and like I don't know if I seek safety though. Like I don't know, maybe that's regarding like friendships and relationships maybe, but I don't know if I seek like
Like always having a protection or like a background or like a what do you call it?
I
Like
mean,
a backup
usually,
plan.
I usually have a backup plan, but that's not a.
Huh. I see that safety side in you more in protecting others around you
Oh,
rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
yourself,
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
and making sure that they're okay and yeah.
And the thing is, like, following the rules for number 1. I mean, I follow the rules to an extent. Like, okay, turn.
No, you
your
follow the
assignment.
rules.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
No, you follow the rules.
but like, but yeah, okay.
well, no. Say your piece. So
Well, I think like outside of an academic sense, then I don't follow the rules. Maybe per chance, a little
that's-
bit, not crazy enough, but like I'm willing. Like
you can bend the rules
yeah, I'll bend the rules. Like I'll go out and have fun.
for sure.
That's a lot of, like, a big part of this test is like I kind of had to
How
just
we only see each other in an academic setting, basically, a lot of the times.
there's that, but then also like personally doing this test, I had to kind of weigh my different things of like my different modes, because like I have like an art creation mode
Yeah.
where I'm like perfectionist to the max, where I'm like, if this frame doesn't look good,
Right.
I'm gonna fucking like go into fucking like Photoshop to
Right.
fix this and then go back, because if it's not right for me, like I'm not happy with it, and it doesn't matter what other people think, like I'm gonna know that it's there, and so I need that to be absolutely perfect or I can't put this down. Whereas like in an academic sense, I'm like, okay, so I just hit the page limit on this paper,
All right, so
send
that's
that
good
out. Yeah,
I was also having that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep.
Where you're like, well, I mean, in this sense, I'm a perfectionist, but in this sense, I could care less.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But one of the favorite examples, I guess, that was on there was the funny thing is that Bill Clinton, Mitt Romney, like these type of people are on there. But
Oh, I see Tom Cruise, baby.
I know Tom Cruise was a nice dub there. But I enjoyed seeing
Justin Biebs.
Anne Hathaway. I thought that was fun.
There it is.
And I saw Will Smith, but then Kevin Spacey before,
Hey, don't forget O.J. Simpson, baby.
Oh, it was O.J. Simpson.
Juice.
Yep, he did.
But my
do it.
favorite
That
one
man
was-
ran for 11,000 yards.
Like love didn't fit.
was Augustus Caesar. I like that one a lot.
Augustus Caesar. He was overthrown by his own government.
But damn, did he?
Did he rule them all?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't mention this. My achiever one went up by 3% since I took it last year.
Do you?
I see that. I see that more. You're becoming a senior. You're thinking more of your goals and your, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, on to Henry.
All right,
All right.
I gotta look at the.
Henry, I'll give you. I was gonna give him a mic.
I got my.
I'm trying to think about Henry here. Ugh, my back. Let's see.
I'm gonna go number 2 again. No, I was looking at the helper, and I think that in all of our interactions, you're always there. You're always a great friend to assist where we need.
Yep.
Cooks like a mother.
Oh,
That's
for
so
sure.
true.
And
He is the mother.
Picks up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm drunk.
All right.
Picks up after the little boys
Yeah.
of this one-on-one.
literally.
So I'm gonna go with 2 because I think he's a great mother figure for us.
Yeah. With Henry, I do see the 2.
Yes.
I also see the 4, the individualist, and I also see the 9. the challenge, or no, not the challenger, the peacemaker, the easygoing,
Oh,
agreeable,
for sure.
complacent.
I'm gonna add that. That's a great answer.
You know, Henry's always down. Complacent.
Like that's such a negative word.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say it. It's definitely like,
But I wish it wasn't.
nice. You're complacent, buddy. Go you. And it's like, gosh.
I think I just see more of the easygoing, just like,
Right.
you know,
Oh, definitely.
oh, we want to do this? Okay, we're going to South Dakota in 2 days. All right, Henry, we'll see you there. You know?
Literally, it's like, all right, so you're gonna make the 8-hour drive by yourself? All right, sounds good.
Yeah, that was the worst. Actually, no, it was a great best time of my life. No, not the best time of my life, but it was a great time. All right, I'll
Yeah.
stop
Oh,
talking.
yeah. And especially like over this break that we definitely did under Gustavus policy and didn't go home and then come back.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
You know, he like went to Benson, brought Emily back, and then went back to Benson. That's a 2.5 hour drive. So that's what, 2.5,
Hey.
2.5, 2.5, and then 2.5.
Sounds like a number 2 to me.
So
Sounds like
well,
a number.
I was gonna say
7.
9. Like that's that. Like just go with the flow. It doesn't really, like just whatever happens.
Right.
You're just kind of going with it.
John, your guess?
7.
7. What's 7?
The busy, fun-loving type, spontaneous, versatile, distractible, and scattered. So, I just know Henry. I mean, we're pretty close to going many trips together
For sure.
with the boys. So then I know that you're versatile. I know that you like staying busy and you always want to have a good time. But I also know as well as you get distracted. Often as much as I do.
Yep.
And I don't think you're scattered. I think your thoughts are all there completely. I just think I don't play it nice because you could be doing something and say, hey Henry, let's go do something, and then you're like, yep, sure, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? There's definitely a two-way street here. But I say 7 for sure, and then I'd probably go with 9 as my second choice.
All right.
Yeah, because on this one it says 7 wants to have as much fun and adventure as possible and are easily bored. And I definitely see that when Henry goes and is just like, yeah, I'll just do the dishes. He's like, I just need something.
Or he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna hop around, waste some gas, rip some shitties.
Right.
For sure.
No, living for fun.
Finding a good time.
That's great.
All right, Henry, give us a big reveal.
All right.
Please
so
don't
it
speak.
is 7. 98, 7.
Let's go.
And then 94 in 2.
Nice. So yeah, we were
Yeah, those are the top
kind of
10.
right.
over it.
Fun-loving, caring guy.
And then 5 is my third.
5.
Oh,
5
yeah.
is the investigator.
Definitely.
But no, yeah, 7 hits it on the spot. Spontaneous, versatile, very distractible. I can agree to that. And scattered too. Scattered kind of hits it on the head there.
Yeah, damn.
That's great.
Yeah.
And do you know a celebrity that is like you?
No, let me look at it real quick here.
What drugs are you most likely to get addicted to?
I really
We'll get into that in a second.
The-
yeah,
the
we'll do
Dalai
that once we
Lama?
go over everyone's.
Yeah.
Dalai Lama.
Let's see. Leonard Bernstein.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
let's
you.
go. Greatest American
The
composer.
Leonard Bernstein.
Mick Jagger,
Mick Jagger.
George Clooney.
Oh, let's
Russell
go.
Brand,
Oh God.
Robin
Jim
Williams.
Carrey,
Carrey?
Jim
Did
Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
That's amazing. J-Man says,
I question
calf
this
trays
just
under the
paragraph of just
real weird. I can't talk.
Blurted
Sorry.
names.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, okay.
It's like they just went to Wikipedia and just copy pasted it.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Where's this addiction part? Because I want to see that.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Stage 2. I got
Right,
it.
yeah.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Alright, Preston's
No,
up.
no
All
worries.
right. I'll close my tabs. No
Let's see.
looking.
Oh,
I need to read.
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah, while everyone's looking up, once again, we're going to be on winter break next week. There will be no podcast that week or the following week. And we'll be back probably first week of January.
Mm.
And
Interesting.
Wednesday at 8 or 9 or 10. Sometime around there. You'll get the notification.
How's the audio doing? Also, just
Yeah, are you glitching out?
Hey, J-Man.
I'm the scared boy here.
Narzi, if you're still listening, I would also thought that you were a 7 as well. I just feel like
Audio
Narzi
is
was-
great. Thanks.
I know Narzi definitely has an analytical side to him, though.
Right,
Mhm.
that's true. That is true. I haven't seen that. Well, not as prominent as a. But to be intrigued, I don't know what a 7 is, but I'm taking the test now. Thank you, Linus.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. As you should.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. I'll give my mic to Nick.
I think this is a tougher
This
one.
is definitely tough.
Who are we choosing now? Nick or Preston?
Preston.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
I'd say there's hints of 9s, but I'd say 4, the individualist.
I like
As
4.
for
I
top.
like 4. Oh, for
Like-
top? I don't know about top though.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, and I'd say like 2 as a second. Well, wait, let me see.
I
Let
think
me-
I'm
let
gonna
me
go
understand.
4
4?
and 7.
Okay.
Because fun-loving, spontaneous, and then expressive, sensitive. Now that we've defined it as not a negative thing, but just aware of the emotional plane, and it's
Emotional.
like there's a lot there. You gotta get through it. But again, I feel like 4 is one of the ones that kind of got shafted, and it's how far it goes. Like I'll need a little bit more on 4
Right.
to know more about it, and I think
Yeah.
that if we ever get some names on it, that'll help too. But the individualist, though, I think is a
just
great
the title.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So I'll go 4 and 7. That's my guess.
Part of me would say that 5 would be, because I know Preston usually, if he doesn't know something, he's going to look it up right away. So that one, in a good sense. So I think like that one, like it says, like, seeks understanding and knowledge. I see that aspect, but I do 4, like you said, it does get shafted, but I think 4 is probably the prominent one. Just because of the last part, highly attuned to their emotional experience. I think that's I think that accurately describes that.
I'm gonna go with, I don't know which one would be above, but 3 and a 7.
Achiever and fun-loving.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait. I gotta read into this here a second. I'd say 9, maybe. Receptive, reassuring, agreeable. Yes, but also I get hints of 8. The challenger. I'm just seeing it.
Yeah.
Preston's doing something stupid. J-Man comes in. He's like, "Don't do that way." And Preston's like, "Whatever.
He goes,
I'm doing
I
it
don't
my
give a-
way."
yeah, I don't
Get
give
the
a
fuck out.
fuck.
What the fuck? Who cares?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Here's the big reveal.
Great drop.
I was
Nothing bad
equally.
against her.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was equally a 98% match on 5 and 7,
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
which was interesting to me. And I think that kind of covers both sides of me. I have the fun-loving type, and I have the sit back and investigate. I observe the room.
YouTube.
Mhm.
It was
And,
YouTube
yeah.
for me that would give it away.
The YouTube. And yep. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, let me pull up my pie chart here.
See, yeah, I definitely see 7 a lot, and 5. I think it's just
I was also an 88% match in 9 and an 85% match in 4. So I was kind of like a bit of what all you guys said. I was a high match in all of those.
Wow.
Which is interesting.
yeah. You're definitely not a 2, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's right.
I can definitely see that. I think it's funny. Okay, so this wasn't part of the test, this test, but it was a part of a different personality test where my personality, I'm a giver, and that's part of like the helper part where I give, but I take offense to not getting that back, because when I give, I like see how much that like I'm actually giving that out. Like I realize how much of myself I give to that.
Yeah.
And so our friendship, I can definitely see this now, where you don't have that like helper instinct, which is it's just different,
Yeah.
right? And you're more like the like data and like you're like hard facts, like sort of thing,
Right.
where I'm like the like kind of more heart driven, like that's on this. It's like part of the heart part,
Right.
and that's where like my helper is. And so I like give, and then like
And see
you
nothing in
just
return.
kind of like take and like go about like your normal analyzing like kind of path that you like see in front of you,
Yeah.
but like then you don't think about it. And it's not that you don't care, and that's something that like I honestly have had to like wrap my head around. There's a lot of things that Preston, like, because I'm this giver person,
Yeah.
like
It's a been
I
a
don't know.
battle.
It's I've had to figure out what Preston's mode of or like ways of affection are. And they're very like it's definitely harder to see than like people who are like helpers and givers because it's really obvious. Because they'll help you with stuff, they'll give you time, and they'll like do things for you. Where Preston, it's like a little bit more of a like it's not as obvious.
Okay.
It's not as obvious. But like
Agreed.
that's one of the things where I've had to kind of like dig deeper and be like, okay, so this is him giving his like personality, giving his like thought and his like effort into your life, but it's different than how I do. And so that's one thing where it was hard at first to see like the reciprocation, but now I've kind of like figured it out.
And so it doesn't bother you as much anymore.
Not as
When I tell
as
you to
much.
shut up during a Dave Chappelle special.
Yep.
I'm sharing a part of myself
Or
with you.
when I or when I pour my heart out for you and you're on your phone Snapchatting someone else.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm always
No,
listening.
no, you know he's listening. It's Snapchat. Snapchat is just like breathing to him.
No,
It's a tick.
but it's cool. It's nice to see that it's confirmed by a very by a database.
Oh yeah.
And so it's
yeah.
not just me going crazy and being super sensitive.
No, I feel it.
Okay, and on to Nick.
The last one.
Nick, you can do some talking while we investigate.
All
I'm trying to find a spot here.
Do you want me?
All right, I'm gonna
move
open
Big
this
Hans?
window. No.
All right. Well. Oh, so true. Let me pull that up for you guys real quick because it is just my favorite thing in the world. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, no, not Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French. They lose the syllables, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Yeah, I guess that's all there. Barbados.
All right, I think I have my answer.
All right, it's all yours, Chief.
Okay, I definitely see 3, the achiever.
Thank you.
Yep.
Whenever we do a project, you're always the first one to say, all right, guys, we're actually getting this done. And we go, what?
Absolutely,
You
and
keep
I
us on-
love it.
You keep us on track, and you always have a schedule. You're always prepared and ready to go, and we're ready to achieve. And I also see, I don't know. I also see a little 7 in there, but maybe more like a 9, easygoing. More, but yeah, I don't know.
I definitely see some 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4.
Yeah, I can see that. Individualist. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say 3 and 4.
3 and
My
4.
guesses.
I was gonna say 3 and then a 6. 'Cause
Ooh, loyalist.
I can definitely see the like committed to like who the friend group is, and as long as they're like you're very committed to that person, then they're like a big part of your life.
It's interesting because mine are different. I'm on the analysis page.
Yeah.
And 6 is actually called the skeptic, which is also interesting. And I do also see that though. I see 6 as skeptic in that case too. Preoccupied with security, seek safety, and like to be prepared for problems.
I see that. Yeah. Yes, being prepared for problems.
Right.
I see that.
All right, so I think just John.
But I think 3 and 4 are definitely mine.
Mine was 4.
Okay.
Mine was.
And why so?
Well, again, being an individual,
Yep.
understanding, we had conversation freshman year, wanted to go out and break the trend of still just staying in college, the individual aspect of that, going out, tackling the, film company and then coming back and still, you're always doing something that you think is right or staying true to yourself and not anyone else's opinion. I mean, you're definitely an open ear and you want to go out to other people and see what they think. But at the end of the day, it's your decision and you
That's a good
completely
point.
believe in that.
Yep.
So that's why I say 4.
And ironically, I think the thing about that is that describes perfectly number 8, the challenger, which
Ooh.
has to do pretty much with everything that John just said. But the Challenger, it was my number one at 98%, and then at 95% was 3. So the Challenger and the Achiever were my 2.
That's so funny.
That seems like a great combo.
John, yeah, you literally described 8.
Yeah,
With
with your definition, that was 8.
So I took 4 and I said, I saw individual and I said, okay, here's my definition.
Right,
I
and
said,
that's why I want to get into 4 too, because every time we've gone around it, we're like, oh, like there are things here, but I wonder how it's actually defined more specifically.
Right.
But let's see, one person. Let's see, I'll do 8 because we've heard 3 before. Saddam Hussein.
There it is.
Oh, my match with number 5 was Joe Biden.
Nice.
There it is.
Yep, me and Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, there's this one has a lot more actors and actresses than musicians to yours.
That's really interesting. That's so interesting.
Yep, my 7 had a lot of actors and stuff too, and my 5 actually had a lot of like great minds and great thinkers. Like Albert Einstein was on there,
Right.
and yeah,
That's so cool. I think that's, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Like that you can even see those trends, that those trends exist, that it's like different
that's
personalities go like these routes.
Mark Zuckerberg is a 5.
Oh my God.
Bill Gates is also a 5.
He was a wonder in that courtroom.
Yeah, it's
Vincent Van Gogh.
yeah, it's yeah. I think the trends are real between like occupations and or interests and or yeah, I definitely agree with that. So which one do we want to dig into first?
For addictions?
All right, so
All right, so addictions.
John's ready.
All right, so
No, because I looked at mine
Yep.
and I just couldn't believe it.
all right, tell us, buddy.
Yeah, please.
hit it up.
With a pitch like that.
So you're type 3.
Yeah, so type 3. So addictions. Get this. Overstressing, the body for recognition, working out to exhaustion, starvation diets, workaholism, excessive intake of coffee, stimulants, and acetaminophen, cocaine, steroids, or excessive surgery for cosmetic improvement.
All right, so that is on the
Holy
tee.
yeah,
That hit
shit.
the freaking thing on the
kind
dot.
of knocked it out of the park, except I don't have any cosmic improvements. Hopefully never. But yeah, I haven't done cocaine as well. But
Just put that out there. Put that out
just
there.
letting the film buffs know back there.
For
that,
future
hey,
employers.
I mean, Leonardo made a great movie about cocaine, but hey, I can't do it.
So true.
So what is yours, Preston?
He's got 2.
Yeah, I got 2.
Hey, can I close this window?
So the
just real
7,
quick?
yeah, close the
'Cause
window.
I'm dying.
I'm also. So the 7 addictions are more addicted to stimulants, ecstasy, narcotics, and alcohol tend to be, and avoid other depressants, wear body out with effort to stay up, excessive cosmetic surgery, painkillers. All right. So I guess I'm getting breast implants. And the 5 is what really hit me.
I love this.
The 5 is poor eating and sleeping habits due to minimalizing needs, neglecting hygiene and nutrition, lack of physical ability. There it is. Psychotropic drugs for mental stimulation and escape, narcotics for anxiety.
It's amazing. We're gonna expose Preston here. The minimizing needs and poor eating and sleeping habits.
Yep.
That's on the T there. That's right on the freaking dot. He most of the times dinner consists of
bag of
taking his
popcorn?
finger and sticking it into the Nutella jar and just going like this, and then goes back in.
Or Nutella roll-ups.
Or Nutella roll-ups.
Yep. Just spread that over the tortilla and you're good to go.
Or
Finger licking
you know,
good.
the occasional when we go to Domino's, he'll get
Oh my God.
some extra
Icing with the cinnamon bites?
with the cinnamon bites, and just eat the icing plain.
And I'll also lick up the cinnamon sugar stuff on the
Yeah.
wrapper afterwards.
Yeah.
Because little do you know, but I'm actually maximizing my intake, and I'm getting all the sugars and all the power.
But
from
I'll
all those
emphasize
foods.
that this is not like supplemental to like to his dinner. This is the dinner. Like, there's nothing before it.
Yep.
It's just that.
Yep.
Anyway,
We've been knowing is the real thing.
I also think it's funny that the compatibility with other types, both of my numbers are compatible with every type. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you're supposed to click
no.
it.
You're supposed to
you're
click
supposed to
it.
click it.
Oh, so we can like see each other.
And we'll get into that. We'll
Okay,
get into
okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like, you're compatible with all types. And I was
Right,
like, wait,
'cause
why
I
is
had
every
the
type
same
compatible with
thing.
every type?
Yeah.
Preston, I want to see ours.
Okay, we
See if
will.
It
We
says
will.
anything like how I was describing.
Do you want to do the 5 compared or the 7 compared?
Well, let's go through the other ones first of the addictions.
okay.
Okay, so
Nick, what are
since-
the 8 addictions?
Yeah, John already read 3.
Yep.
So 8 is ignore physical needs and problems, avoid medical visits and checkups, indulging in rich foods, alcohol, tobacco while pushing self too hard leads to high stress, strokes, and heart conditions.
Amazing.
All right, Nick,
Control
I can
issues central, although alcoholism and narcotic addictions are possible. So control issues are my main
Wow.
central addiction.
I can see it. I can.
I
see
can
it.
definitely see it.
All
but,
from
when
Rocket
the
League.
narcotics get in there, I
All
say,
from-
Pablo, buddy.
Yeah, Escobar it up.
No,
That's
I can.
right.
I mean, not like to the extent that, like, to the extreme that it says there, but I mean, just like seeing you on the job site, like, obviously you're cool as a cucumber on the outside,
But boy, oh
boy on the inside.
Yep. I could
You're
just,
just like-
pop like a whistle. Here it is. All right.
Yep, absolutely. It's like
I said, guys, get in the line. Get in the line. All right, what are you doing? What
Yeah.
is this? All right, I'm out.
he said, I'm gonna have to take my mask off for this one.
Yeah, whoo, baby.
No, that's great.
It's a
All right.
powerhouse. That's what we
That's
need.
funny.
Here you go.
Oh,
Henry.
absolutely.
I think Preston already said it, but I'm 7. So the type most prone to addictions: stimulants, caffeine, cocaine, and amphetamine, whatever the word is, ecstasy, psychotropics, narcotics, and alcohol, but tend to avoid other depressants. Wear body out with effort to stay up. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you,
That's
Henry.
oh my
That's it.
god,
Yep.
guys. Just
That sounds about right.
I just remember like hearing, well now I know you better, but like for our first year,
Yeah.
like when you were first year as a
Oh, great
technically
year.
a senior
great year.
in high school,
Yes, you.
when you're just like doing theory homework at like 5 in the morning, and you'd stay up until like 3.
Yeah.
And you'd have to get up in the morning to do it before class.
Hey,
I'm
that
just
happened
like,
last year. That's
holy
even better because I
cow.
was
Yep.
in that room while he was doing it, which is even better.
Yeah, literally.
But in a way, that's how Preston is, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's just how I work.
That's how the 7s are, baby.
Yeah.
What can I say?
I just get bored. I'm doing it any random day, so I gotta wait until the anxiety builds up just enough
To
where
pressure
I'm,
you?
to where I'm like pressured into
Yep.
doing it just a little bit.
Oh my God,
Feel that
Yeah.
little boost.
That's like, no, it kills me too, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I try, I'm like, yeah, no,
Jeez.
I'm not doing it.
I got 2 days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Guys,
god.
one day I'm
Right.
pushing it. Like when I see one day ahead, I'm just like, all right, I'm dead. That's how my brain works.
So one day
That's
ahead is 2 days
insane.
behind you.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not.
I'm like, I got 3 more days of freedom, baby. Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
Nate, what's your addiction?
my addictions tend to be abusing food and then over-the-counter medications. So it's food and then yep, hard drugs.
Yeah, when
You
when
do
Nate gets
eat-
those Sour Patch Kids. Oh, they're gone.
Binging, especially on sweets and carbs.
Yep, there it is.
And
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
it is. Oh, okay, Mom, if you're listening to this, I hope you're not. But
Christmas cookies.
yeah. Okay, so we have this thing where I always asked for doughy things, and so my mom is now just knows me as like she
The
just
dough
calls
boy?
me like the doughboy or like doughy boy. But yeah, I always would ask for like a doughy thing with, whatever it is, like like cinnamon roll or donut or. Guys, those carbs, they'll do me in. But yeah, and then Sour Patch Kids, holy crap, guys, just down in a whole freaking bag of those. Yeah, so binging on sweets and carbs, overeating from feeling love starved, in extreme cases, bulimia, hypochondria to look for sympathy. Wait, what's a hypochondriac?
It's like where you think that you're ill, but you're really not. It's like you make up these like, oh guys, I have a cough. Oh my god, I got typhoid, and we're like, all right, Nate, chill out.
All right, so I might kind of be that way.
Where you like get a little illness, and you're like, oh shit, WebMD
But-
that stuff, and you're like, oh, I have plaque psoriasis, and
But it's not to that extent where I'm like trying to find excuses.
yeah,
But I'm always like I always think to myself like, oh, am I actually this sick? Like I always say like, oh no, like I got a headache, I can't do this, like I got a headache and stuff like that. And I mean, like I do. It's not like I'm lying. But then I'm like, okay, so do people just like go through their normal like everyday lives and deal with this where I'm just like, all right, so I have to like not do anything because I have a headache? Anyway, so I can definitely kind of see that. But Yeah.
Yeah, you're an average.
Moving on to what are we moving on to? Oh, compatibility.
Yeah,
You wanna do
compatibility.
that? All right. So Preston, do we want to? Which one am I going? I guess. Yeah. Which one are you going into? As
Let's just do both, eh? I'll go in with the 5 first. What are you, a 7?
I'm a
No,
2.
you're a
I'm
2.
a 2.
Okay. 5 and 2.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, okay. I wish I just had a synthesized version.
You don't have to read through the whole thing. Just
That's
look over
true.
it.
Yeah. 2 and 5s are double opposites. A person versus a people person versus a loner. All right, let's go.
Yep.
A feeling type with a thinking type.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying.
2s and 5s come from different points of views on what is important in life and in a relationship. Yes, you covered that. And yet, because they are so different, they can also be an intense attraction to the mystery for the other. 2s and 5s are most common pairing. They might be expected. 2s can seize 5s as challenges. Oh my gosh, Nate, I'm a challenge.
Guys, this is literally what I'm saying. I need to just like unwrap Preston
spend a night-
non-sexually.
It is hard to know what
Oh,
pleases.
spend a night.
It's hard to know what
There it
pleases
is.
5s, which makes 2s only try harder.
Yep.
2s bring warmth, physical comfort, and ease, which something 5s typically lacks, and a desire to improve 5s' living conditions, style of dress, and eating habits, and many other marks. 5s are usually not unaware of these, though they may not outwardly react to the expression of affection of 2s. Oh my god!
Listen, look at this one.
Guys, I may have just like
Look
nailed
at
it.
between you and me for 3 and 5 because it's low key fucking on the ball. Look it up on yours sometime.
Okay, potential trouble spots, though, between the 2s and the 5s. Many issues that this couple faces have to do with their boundaries and how respectful or not each of the other is. 2s tend to become frustrated by the 5's lack of immediate response to them. Sometimes 5s are so taciturn, I don't know what that word means, and involved in their own mental world that there is no response at all. Oh my god.
All right.
Which hurts the 2's feelings and feels like rejection to them.
Oh my god, that's
Guys,
crazy.
what?
You nailed
Someone
it.
get out of here.
I literally
You
nailed it.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Did you cheat, Nate?
No, this is what I've been working on for the past 2 years.
Oh my god.
Huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
It says 5s start to lose confidence in themselves and are actually harmed by being overly helped. Lower functioning 2s, however, feel that there are they
Hats
have
off to
no
them.
value unless they are actually involved in every aspect of each other's lives. But the more they feel intruded on, the more unsafe 5 begins to feel, and they may start to fear the 2. Oh, interesting. 5s can also become cynical about their value and viability of relationships, and cynical about the possibility of finding one that works for them. 5s tend to walk away from the entire question, losing interest in having an intimate relationship, often for years at a time. But the more distance 5s put between themselves and 2s, the more this brings out the 2's obsession and more aggressive they become in their pursuit of the 5. Wow.
Guys,
interesting.
That's to a T.
Pursuit of the 5.
Because, yep. I mean, yeah, I said it before. Yeah,
I'm interested.
it's all that.
Okay, John, you can do another thing or whatever. I want to see what the 2s and the 7s.
Well, I don't know who to go. That's Nick. Yours is 8. You say?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, you can read yours with Preston
Oh.
because we're the same number too. Because my second one is 3. So if you
Oh.
did
He's
3
like,
and
your first
5,
is-
yeah, it would just be it's my second.
Oh,
so
okay.
you could go ahead and read that one.
Well, for Preston and I, it says this is a frequent combination, although one that might not be expected. The anagram 5 often gives 3 depth, new areas of expertise, credibility, while sparking creativity. 3 gives 5's confidence, presentation skills, and awareness of the importance of communicating effectively with others. both 3s and 5s are primarily focused on their work and on objective issues and concerns. Let's keep going, I guess. This can be a brilliant couple, sharp, successful, deeply
Wow.
competent, and well-respected if they are attractive. It says if
I'm deeply attracted to you.
I always thought so. That's why we bunk bed every single year.
Yep, so I can just look down at you.
Trouble spots. Here's a great deal of their self-esteem is also derived from their work and how it's regarded by others. 3 and 5s can get into more or less open
Content.
conscientiousness.
Consciousness.
Conscientious.
Conscientiousness.
over who was the original source of ideas and works. I don't know if we ever gotten that one.
I don't think so.
There can be elements of comparing one's work and contributions, claims about who's responsible for which ideas or breakthrough. I don't really see that present. Both types also tend not to speak directly about their feelings or misgivings. That's kind of a lie too. So
Well, we did. We had. We did have like one fight,
yeah, we did
which was
last year.
last year.
Tyler mediated.
I honestly don't even remember what it was about.
I remember John telling me about this a little bit. I think you told me about this too.
I don't really remember what it was about, honestly.
It was
Hey, boys. Hey, new Barney. I don't know who you are.
name drop, please, new Barney. Also, Narzi, what is your number? We'd like to know. I don't remember what it was about, but it was something about. It was the way that I was, and in the sense of that we work well together, that I give you confidence. I was giving you too much of like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Nagging, I think it was. Was it not that? Because like,
I
you're like,
honestly
"Let me
don't
do it."
remember.
I don't remember either.
But I do remember that we had to have a talk, a sit-down talk.
Yeah, then it was solved.
Yeah, I guess so. We don't even remember what it was about.
Weird. I think it's funny that we're how close when we look at intimate relationships and how they work out. Our friendships actually are so close to those intimate relationship
All right,
like
so we're all dating
comparisons.
each other?
Literally. Yes, I'm attracted to all of you.
Ingrid is enjoying this.
Great.
Shout out
That's
to
awesome.
Ingrid.
Great to hear.
Ingy, we
Ingrid,
miss
are
you.
you Barney?
Ingrid, we'll see you in South Dakota. Oh, I will.
Yes, we will.
And Nate. And Henry.
I don't know who you are.
We'll see.
Oh, you
there it
love
is.
Anyway, okay. I want to look up me and Nick.
Okay.
What are we again? What are you? You're an 8.
He's an 8.
And I'm a
First,
2.
yeah.
Oh, 8 and 2.
Yeah,
That seems like an interesting
retractive.
combo.
That could be a very interesting combo. Deadly, almost.
One could be safe.
You know what happens if we
All
create
right.
a 10?
Ready? So, helper and the
Yeah,
challenger.
here, Nick. Do you want this to look up something?
No, I got my phone. I
oh,
pulled
okay.
it up on my phone.
Okay, these two types are more alike than they might appear to be at first.
Really?
Both are action-oriented
Mm-hmm.
and want to have a personal impact on their environment.
Mm-hmm.
Both can be sentimental and deeply feeling, with a soft side that is more hidden than apparent. Both can play the roles of provider, protector, caretaker, and nurturer while avoiding or even denying their own needs.
Interesting.
Both tend to overwork themselves,
Yep.
and both tend to be the strong one in relationships, although 2s will tend to do so as the power behind the throne, while the 8s will tend to clearly be on the throne.
Oh, interesting.
I can see it. Okay. Both types bring passion, vitality, interpersonal and social skills, magnanimity, I don't know,
Sure.
and generosity. The basic emphasis of both types is distinctly different, however, with 2s being primarily interested in the welfare of others, while 8s tend to be interested in their physical well-being and in having a distinct impact on their world, often with beneficial fallout for others.
Yeah.
Let's look into the potential trouble spots or issues. 2s and 8s have very different value systems, as noted above. 2s tend to be person-oriented, while 8s tend to be practical-minded. Their interpersonal styles are also very different, with 2s tending to be more empathetic and indirect, and 8s being more direct and independent.
Yep.
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 Yep. Yep.
Even average 8s tend to become proud of their resolutely unsentimental way of dealing with people and situations, while average 2s become highly attached to people and overly solicitous about their needs. 2s tend to see things from the point of view of others, while 8s do not. They see things from the point of view of self-interest, feeling that others need to learn to take care of themselves lest they become weak and ineffectual.
There it is. Survival of
Thus,
the fittest.
in a relationship, 2s and 8s have very different ideas about where other people fit into the picture, including their own family.
Yep. For sure. And in sense of loony business, you know, you guys are definitely the leaders, the planners, the getter-doners, and you guys are always the people that set things up. And so, but I also see that you guys come at these problems in different ways, which I think is what that basically said.
Right.
But you guys have different ways of solving the same problem, but can work together well.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't think necessarily they're a little behind the throne analogy, because in our field, it's so much of, even though post work is post work and prep work is prep work, when we're filming, we're all there. We're all together.
Right.
You know, there is no hiding behind the throne. But no, I think that, yeah, they in the first paragraph, how they're like, yeah, it's unexpected, but yet it works because of the complements of the different mindsets. And I would agree with that. I think our leadership makes a lot of this stuff work.
Oh, absolutely. But even so, like with Looney, like when we walk onto a job site, I'm gonna hold the door open for you because I want you to be the first one in. You know, because I know that you're comfortable in that situation and you know how to approach that situation really well.
That's true.
Where I'm like, I mean, I could,
Right.
and I have the
Right.
capability,
Right. Not
but
the
I know
inability
that
of
you
it.
can really do that really well, and so I'm gonna let you take that.
So that's a good point, and I think that probably more than anything that has to do with just the pre-production of our work.
Yeah.
You know, just because I have the extra week,
connections
2
and-
weeks or whatever in it, where I go, oh, I know what we have for the vision of it. But ultimately, yeah, it's what you get in the lens. You know, that's what it comes down. And I think that works well when we're actually filming. That sure, even if we set it up, lights here, this there, that there. Yeah, it really comes down to how we're going to shoot it and what we get. But
Right.
yeah, I think that it's definitely really interesting. Maybe even bringing it to some of these guys here of the production side of things. You know, like how I would say definitely Henry has been a absolute champ every time he showed up. Where you know there is hey, he's going to be the guy that's having fun with all of us,
And the guy that's like,
the guy's
easy
like,
going,
yeah.
Henry, we need you to do this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm down. I got it.
And there's no question, and he's not butthurt or anything, and
Nope.
because he knows that that's not part of it.
Right. We're all working together to get it done, and we're
Right.
like, I'll do it, love to.
Yep.
And that's And then what about you, Preston? How do you feel about? Because you're we talked about this not on the podcast, but Preston, you can elaborate on this, but being the jack of all trades on
flex.
sets, you know, that he can flip to camera, he can flip to audio, he can flip to editing. So how do you think that kind of this type on Enneagram results kind of plays into?
No, yeah, I definitely think my Enneagram like works well because it definitely shows like I can be reclusive and I can be like isolated and like analytical and in my like when I want to be, I can be in myself, and at times I can also be very out there and you know let's have a great time. And yeah, I think that you know having those both sides kind of shows the jack of all trades thing where you know I'm very fine with being in the editing room just all quiet by myself doing that, and then I could also be you know on the set you know talking to Rod and saying, oh no buddy, I'm trying with the piano here real quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely think that's interesting though. About yeah, I definitely don't think people are down to one number. Like, there's definitely like sides and situations that bring out different sides. And I actually was like looking at this, and like since I have two, I was like trying to look at the levels at which like each of them are at. And there's like different levels.
Right. Yeah.
Like look, okay, so look at like the level 9, which is unhealthy levels. Like the max level of a 5 is seeking whatever. Basically, but it says oblivion. They may commit suicide or have a psychotic break with reality. I was like,
Oh my god.
Oh my.
so that's like maximum like 5, like where they like start getting like psychotic and deranged, and they have like these self-destructive tendencies. But
Mine was narcissistic. That I will be relentless and obsessive about destroying whatever reminds them of their own shortcomings or failures. I'll become vindictive in attempting to ruin others' happiness.
Vader.
Oh my god.
And you shall be
Hey,
Darth
This
Vader.
is great. Let's read these nines.
Narzi and J-Man, what's the word? I know we talked about it this summer, but basically like when you lose connection with reality, and it can happen when
Being
you're on
high?
LSD. But that Preston's comment there just made me think of it. And so if you want to drop that in the chat, I just would like to remember that.
All right,
Not
I
that
have
you guys know.
my level 9 unhealthy levels for 8.
yeah.
If they get
Ego
in
death.
danger, they may brutally destroy everything that is not conformed to their will rather than surrender to anyone else. Vengeful, barbaric, and murderous. Psychopathic tendencies generally corresponds to the antisocial personality disorder.
Oh,
my
my
God.
God.
Narcissus
Will
is
brutally
ego death.
destroy
Ego death, yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything that does not conform to their will.
Holy
That is me in Rocket League. I said, I'll take down the whole server.
Oh my God. Yeah. Where's my challenges? Hey, Rocket League, where's Nick's rewards?
Yep.
For
Thanks,
this
Narcy.
season's
Ego death,
challenges.
yep.
Give me my loot crates. Please. That's all I want. I just want to get 3 very rares like Nate did. Sorry, Nate.
My level 9. I hate mine. Your guys's are kind of funny, but mine's just sad.
You're just sad.
no.
So level 9, able to excuse and rationalize what they do since they feel abused and victimized by others and are bitterly resentful and angry. Somatization of their aggressions result in chronic health problems as they vindicate themselves by falling apart and burdening others. Generally corresponds to the histrionic personality disorder and fictitious disorder. But also, yeah, like level 8 is domineering and coercive. Feel entitled to get anything they want from others. The repayment of old debts, money, and sexual favors.
Jesus, that really is a drop off from 8 to 9.
Sexual favors really just seems to resonate for me on that one for you, but I don't know.
No, yeah,
Well-
but I do think I see this, and I do think I have healthy levels of 5 in me, where I'm like, I'm observing and in myself and stuff. But then sometimes I see a level 6 in myself, the cynical and argumentative.
Indeed.
I can see that sometimes.
All right, Henry, let's see this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
9.
The 7.
All right.
Yeah, the level 9.
My 9 says, finally, their energy and health is completely spent. Become claustrophobic and panic-stricken, often give up on themselves in life, deep depression and despair, self-destructive overdoses, impulsive suicide, generally corresponds to the bipolar disorder and histrionic personality
That's what I had
disorder.
also.
Hey, I had schizophrenic.
Jeepers.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
Night, Teddy. Well,
I
good
don't
luck
know
out
about
there.
the destructive overdoses and
Night, Ted.
impulsive suicide, but I've definitely gotten there at points.
Just like like your energy
Just like
is like
I'm
drained.
just
and
gone, and I'm just like,
Dude, I'm right
Yeah.
there right now. I am right there right
like,
now.
and not even like
All right.
stressed about it. I'm just like
You're
my
just like,
my
right.
energy's gone. I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
That's what finals will do to you. I mean,
Literally.
Yeah.
you really see what you're made of during this. I feel like
So
this
true.
is the best time to look at it because potentially someone
True
could be at our
colors.
low. Some could be like the face of adversity, which is like you got
Mhm.
a bunch of exams, bunch of papers to do. This is the best time to look at the the personality test and then the what we're looking at now, the levels of development.
And now we should read 1 so that we all feel good about ourselves.
Okay.
Because
I think we
they're-
should.
they're
I think we
really
should all
good.
pick out how low we get realistically.
Okay.
What's the lowest we've ever gotten in
Mhm.
our personality thing, like on the levels from 1 through 9?
How that 6
What's,
was like
or the
worse.
highest?
Yeah.
The highest. What's the highest we've gotten
Okay.
that you can like think of like a specific moment in your life? Unless we don't want to.
I mean,
Let's see.
I'll do it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So level 5, I think if you ever have a low day, I think that for me is like a not
Read
like
that out, 'cause
consistent.
it's different one for everybody.
Oh, okay. So level 5 is like becoming image conscious, highly concerned with how they perceive, begin to package themselves according to the expectations of others, and
Mhm.
like that. That's a definite like days are what off, like that definitely occurs. But I feel like the lowest I've ever been was maybe level 7. Was feeling failure and humiliation that can be exploitative and opportunistic, covetous of success of others, and willing to do whatever it takes to preserve the illusion of their superiority. And I mean, I definitely can remember there's a lot of times where it's just like, I don't know. In that situation where I can definitely see that. I've maybe been that way like once or twice, not
Mhm.
like super recently.
It's interesting because I don't really see myself like getting that high onto these levels. I think level 6 is the highest I'd be on the 5. It says beginning to take an antagonistic stance toward anything which would interfere with their inner world and personal vision, becoming provocative and abrasive with intentionally extreme and radical views, cynical and argumentative. I think there's some parts of me, and you guys probably know where, we get into like an argument or a thing, and, I'm either wrong or something like that, but I'm not backing down. And, let's go.
Inky.
That's awesome. But yeah, I don't know.
Yep,
what was I
you-
saying? Just like, yeah, and I'll fight you on it.
You
even
will
if
go
I'm
to
wrong.
the ends of the earth before you back down on that argument.
Yep, so true.
And the
Damn, is that a
key-
battle?
The
And
key phrase is, what is it, John? Give it to us.
What's the key phrase?
I don't give a fuck is what the key phrase is.
Yep, that's
But
the key phrase.
but the thing is, which is interesting between me and Preston though, when it gets to that point, is because Preston is that way where he won't back down because he doesn't want to admit he's wrong. No, that's it.
No, that's so
No, that's
Okay,
it.
doesn't want to admit
That's
he's
it.
wrong. But I will only really go like really push forward when I know I'm right in a sense.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of works well with each other because we just kind of keep butting and back, and then it just is like, well, okay, whatever. We know each other that well. But I just find it kind of funny because we're both kind of similar in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I also see it where there's one part about it where your personality type will push 5 to be better, to keep growing and
that's
because where 5 is like kind of like self-deprecating in some places, 3 will push him and you'll keep pushing because you want 5 to get better.
Mm-hmm.
But then 5 is like,
Shut the fuck up.
exactly. And so I see that where you guys are talking about like that disagreements, but I think that's like a huge part of like where those disagreements come up is because you're trying to push him so much, and 5 is just like I don't want it and I don't see it, and he just
right.
wants to back
No, that
away.
I think that was the argument.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, see, that's exactly. And so
Exactly.
it's like, yeah, it's amazing.
So mine, I think my highest, I can definitely see 5 and then 6 2, I think. So 5 become overly intimate and intrusive. They need to be needed. So they hover, meddle, and control in the name of love. Want others to depend on them. Give but expect a return.
There it is.
Send double messages, enveloping and possessive, the codependent, self-sacrificial person who cannot do enough for others, wearing themselves out for everyone, creating needs for themselves. So I think like the first half of that is pretty accurate. There's definitely been some times where I've looked back at it and I'm like, all right, so I fucked up there, and it's like very obvious to me.
Yeah.
And then also level 6, increasingly self-important and self-satisfied, feel they are indispensable, although they overrate their efforts in others' behalfs. And so I can kind of see that, especially like in ensembles and like G sharp. I can definitely be. Another one is overbearing, patronizing, and presumptuous.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Like I've gone to those places, and like G sharp, where I've definitely been like.
And what is G sharp?
Sorry, G sharp is the all male, all low voice a cappella group Ekistavis.
Yep.
And where I've definitely been like, okay, so I'm definitely a key member of this a cappella group, and there are definitely members that are not as good as I am, and I can hold my own here, and I'm a very important part of this group. And so that's where that's definitely come into play, where I like kind of like I'm an indispensable part of this group and overrate my efforts and stuff like that.
What's this number for again?
So that was 6 in number 2,
Number
level
2.
6.
Yeah, I think average levels are probably where people are gonna max out. Like level 7s through 9s are like,
That's,
all right,
uh,
so
So it's getting into like
you're like psychotic.
Guys,
Yeah,
but
right.
I've heard stories from people of people on this campus getting to those places.
Oh,
Yeah.
easily.
Oh, for
we
sure.
can name names, but
Yeah.
we won't.
We won't.
no,
But we could.
But we could.
Yeah.
no, yeah. I think 5 and 6 are just generally the low.
Yeah.
Well, because I
'Cause-
just think
well,
of. Oh, sorry. You
No,
go.
you go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking of our friend group initially. So, I mean, right now, just us 5. Or obviously, we have a lot of others in our friend group. You know,
Yep.
Tyler, Teddy, whatever, J-Man, and stuff like that. But usually, when we know right away when someone is down, and there's usually one of us to pick us up, I mean, right back away. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't think we let each other get down to those lower levels.
Right.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like
Oh, okay.
we all notice when someone's getting down,
100%.
and it's not always like pick
No.
them up, but more of like let's talk it out, see why you're feeling this way. And in a lot of cases, like that's at least
Sad boy hour.
for me, that's what helps. Like
Oh yeah.
is like, oh, why are you feeling this way? And when I
Oh, for
talk
sure.
it out,
And
But-
yet, though, here's another low though that I want to get into after that
Yeah.
is anger, because that's another part of there are at least in the 8 and the 3,
Yeah.
the lower levels turn into anger. But we'll get on that in a moment.
Yeah. What was I saying?
I
You
just
were
know.
talking about sadness and how we
Oh yeah,
help each
we're
other
all
out.
sad boys all the time,
Yeah.
and we're always helping each other out. But no, just like talking through it with each other usually helps
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
And even like every once in a while, one person will be like kind of pissed off at someone else, and then we'll talk about it without them. But we're not like talking
You're not
about it.
shit-talking them.
We're not shit talking them. We're like
talking through the issue.
we're like, well, why do they feel that way?
Yeah.
Right.
What can we change? Or like, oh, so and so's having a hard time. Maybe we shouldn't crack jokes about him like we usually do.
Right. Exactly.
Just for a little bit, just to let them.
I don't know if that. I don't know if that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right. And this is where I see that. And the point I was going to bring out was John and I being in that 3, being in that achiever, self-driven, that kind of shit, where it's, in level 6 and 7, highly combative, hard-hearted, immoral, potentially
Oh my
violent.
God.
Yeah,
you
guys,
know?
we
Like,
don't
when we're
wanna
getting in
freaking
that, like,
lose.
You guys, John's
that's
mad.
the difference, though. That's
Nick's
the difference,
mad.
though.
Yeah.
That's the difference between our types, though, because John and I are on that same level. Where if he gets pissed and I get pissed, there's no talking.
It's an
There's
infinite-
no talking. We're just pissed, and that's it. But that's because we're that same type. We're
Right.
that exact same type. So that's why when we're against each other, there's no getting out of it, and everybody else is just laughing and
That's
watching
so
us go
funny.
at it
Yeah.
because
Oh
we
my
don't get
God.
it. We're on the same, and I know because he'll go, "Oh, you pissed, buddy?" I go, "No, you're pissed, buddy." And then we're both just livid because they're like, "Don't tell me." Yeah. So. And it's the same thing in Warzone, Rocket League,
when we're
Pong,
playing
whatever
together,
we play. Yeah. Whenever,
Together as
yes.
team.
Well, that's how we save it. That's how we save it. That's
Right.
true. We play duos, and then
Yeah.
it's a
Force
joint-
the anger
yes.
into a
Yes.
When
one
something
single fist of
when
anger.
something
There you go.
pisses Nick and I off, it could be from 5 years ago, it could be now. We're going to remember the exact moment, the exact time of day, how we felt. We could quote what they said. We can do everything like, "Thanks, Blaine, for not turning down your freaking
Yep.
game." Like, I could
Shout
give you the
out.
whole dialogue of that conversation there, just because it's like we always know it. And that, I mean, in a sense, you turn it into a meme. But deep down, yeah, I could kill someone about it. Like, to be honest, like,
highly combative is like
Yeah.
I have not hit somebody yet, but
Yeah.
boy, I've been close.
like, watch out, Teddy, please. Like,
Yeah.
something's
I
gonna
think
It's a
come.
look out.
And I think that's so funny because a lot of the time with a lot of people, and it's so funny that you guys are the same, and we found that out, that it's like once you're there, you're like 2 cars, and once you hit each other, you're not letting off the gas, and you're just going back at it. Because like if it happened with anybody else, it would be the hit and then just kind of like the release, and you'd like. It
Right,
would be
you'd
the
step
initial
back.
impact,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, that was a zinger. You kind of got on my nerves there, but then like you take a deep breath, and it's fine. And like, but then you don't see that. And from an outsider perspective, you're like, all right, so when they're just gonna drop it, right?
going
and then they
head to
just
head.
keep going.
Tires
I'm
spinning,
like, oh my god,
See, the
like
thing, it
how does
starts-
this end?
Because it starts out with shit talking, but that's just casual because
Yeah.
that's how we all do.
Yeah, exactly.
But then it gets keep going in there, and it keeps diving in.
Yeah.
And it's even better because we're just keep shoveling that ditch. Like we're just waiting to see if we're
So true.
striking.
Who's
gold.
gonna crack first?
Yeah, who's gonna crack first? And then sometimes we'll like maybe level out if like we'll meme on some other person at the same time, just like
Yeah,
I
right.
really gotta rub this one out on this other guy. But geez, yeah, it's not a.
Yeah.
I live off of it. And I don't care. It's,
Oh
it's
yeah,
great.
it's right. You have to walk away from it because you know that you're both in that like.
At the end of the day, I wake up, in the morning. I see Nick on the couch. I still will make him tea, or he'll make me tea. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
It's just awesome to be an observer of it, though.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
because you know exactly the play-by-play. Because it's
Yep.
because we know it.
I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah, you get the popcorn going, and you're like,
Yep.
Yeah, literally.
No, it's entertaining for sure.
But now we can walk away from it
Yeah.
right.
as better people.
Right,
And read
now
our
you
level
know.
ones. I want
Now you know.
to read. I think we should all read our level ones because where are we at for time marker right now?
Oh,
Can I do-
we're well over an hour.
Okay,
can I
beautiful.
do
120.
one more of my
I-
unhealthy things? I had one,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
more thing to say.
But then I think we should end reading our ones because
Oh, yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna feel so inspired.
right.
Like they're so good. The level ones are so good.
One thing, like with a lot of these things, it's like your level 9s are kind of lows, where you guys are, or I mean not even level 9s, but your low
the 6s
levels.
and 7s.
You guys are like, you're saying like how we all kind of bring each other up from that spot,
Mm-hmm.
but where it's tough is like with my low ones, I bring myself too high, you know? And so that's where it's tough with like a friendship. Like you guys
We
need
gotta
to
knock you down a peg.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
There it is. I guess so.
But not even though, because you're not that kind of guy. You're really not that kind of guy. Like
guess
you
it's-
won't go high. You'll go in. You know, you'll close up,
And that's
then
maybe
we
where it
won't
is
see you.
because maybe I think it more than, which is probably bad to say, but like, and it's not often, but like maybe like it's like my inward thoughts where I'm thinking those things and you guys don't know it.
No, I know it. Because when we were in Video Art 1, and we were like, all right, so we're the fucking best at this class, and we would say it. Yeah,
But even so, when I'm like going off about like being a like good vocalist or something like that, I mean, there's an extent where like obviously like it's good to be confident in yourself and stuff like that.
Yep.
But then there's at some points where you're like I'm better than other people and like shitting on other people, and it's like, okay, yeah, take it down a step,
Yeah.
buddy.
To yourself, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, like you guys,
Yeah,
that's
other
what I'm
people need
saying.
it.
Like it's tough, like being an outside person or a friend and seeing your like friend at that like high point where he's bringing himself up, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, like that's good, and it's tough to. It's easy to bring somebody up, but it's harder to like
knock
him down in a serious
it's funny
way.
because we always go like, oh my
down a
God,
peg.
Nate, sing this harmony for us.
Yeah.
Please, Nate, you have such a big cock.
And
in
that's
front."
Yeah.
We're actually
Your ass
playing
is
into
so
it.
fat.
And maybe it's like psychological warfare because then I have to counteract it
Yeah, you're like, wait,
by
do I have a big
taking
cock?
myself down a peg. And so now you guys are teaching me to shit on myself
There it
because you're
is.
bringing
Now
those.
you're in
Anyway,
it.
Yeah,
anyway,
no.
we'll
If your
move on.
brother- If your brother says you have a huge cock, then we all.
Jonas has never seen my dick.
That's a lie.
I doubt that.
Nate,
Yeah.
hit us with the level one.
Yeah.
Anyway, level 1, at their best, helpers become deeply unselfish. Anyway, sorry.
All right, great start.
No. This is it. So helpers become deeply unselfish, humble, and altruistic. I don't know what that word means. Giving unconditional love to self and others. Feel it is a privilege to be in the lives of others. That's very
Altruistic means showing a disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others. Unselflessness.
Nice.
All right. That sounds great. John, you want to hit us with your one? Of the
Self-accepting,
three.
inner direct, and authentic. Everything they seem to be. Modest and charitable. Self-deprecatory humor. And a fullness of a heart emerge, gentle and benevolent.
Okay.
benevolent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Benevolent.
I can see it.
Achievements is
Absolutely.
glorious, Glizzy. Let me tell you. Thank you. Well, we've been waiting.
All right, Henry.
All
Hit us
right, my
with this.
level one is assimilate experiences in death, making them deeply grateful and appreciative for what they have, become awed by the simple wonders of life, joyous and ecstatic intimations of spiritual reality, of the boundlessness
All right, guys. So reading is not our strong
goodness
suit.
of life. No. Boundless
Yeah.
goodness of life.
Imitations of spiritual reality.
I have no clue what that sentence means
Anyway.
whatsoever.
That's a very weird
Okay, it's 11:30. We have 6 more hours to go.
Yep,
He's about
so true.
in-depth experiences, making them
Become
deeply
awed
grateful,
by simple wonders.
very appreciative.
I'll take it.
All right. My 5 level 1 is become visionaries, broadly comprehending the world while penetrating it profoundly. That's right. Open-minded, takes things in whole in their true context, make pioneering discoveries, and find entirely new ways of doing and perceiving things.
Nice.
Weird. There's no subject in the sentence.
You are the subject.
Like
Just
a,
nice adjectives.
yeah.
Okay, so my level 1 becomes self-restrained and magnanimous, merciful and forbearing, mastering self through the self-surrender to a higher authority. Courageous, willing to put self in serious jeopardy to achieve their vision and have a lasting influence, may achieve true heroism and historical greatness.
Nick, I'd like to comment on one of those things. I had a conversation with John, or I think it was John. Maybe it was Anna. I can't remember. But one of those words
The same person.
where it was like gracious or like what was it? Merciful. That's what it is.
Merciful.
And one of the things where I was talking to whoever it was, and it was like one thing that I really admire about you, especially like on like when working with other people, is you have a way of presenting, like, so if somebody does something and you're like, okay, I'd like to fix this, I think you could have done this better in this specific way. You present that to them, but then you say, you're doing this part really well.
Now here's what you can do better.
And here's the part that I
Right.
think you could change a little bit. But you always, at the end of it, you're like, this is great. And then before it, you say like, this is what you should change. And then you always end it being like, you're doing this awesome. Keep it up. That's awesome. And that's one thing where I'm like, I really want to work on that, because I'm very like, this is the way that I think it should work. And I know
yeah.
that
But
this
hey,
can-
we'll have to knock you down a peg.
Yeah.
that this will be good, but then that's all I see. I see my
Right.
way of doing it, and I'm like, I really think this is gonna work, and I really think this is the way that it should be, but I never end it being like, okay, that was great. This is how I think it should be. And so
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I really want to work on, and something that I see that like you do really well. But is that like merciful aspect. And I don't know if merciful is the right way to like segue into that, but anyway, that's how I see it.
Well, thank you, Nate. You're making me blush. But I want you to know that I, as much as anybody else, I still have those thoughts too of like when the girls split up, they weren't in a line, and I'm like, motherfucker. That was a moment where I couldn't see it. Oh, you're walking great. You're lighting the camp. No, I didn't have any thought of that. But I mean, it's a weird thing about, you know, what we're doing with art right now. You know, we all have our parts that we're all, you know, either passionate about or interested in learning about, and you know,
Constructive.
yeah, and we're all talented individuals where I know there's a good foundation that we're going off of. So
Right, it's never personal,
Yeah.
and that's the best thing. I
Right.
think with working with a company with your best friends, you always have to think of it. Nothing's ever personal, because we all want the same thing. We all want the same end goal, to be the best that we
Yep.
can be. And so if someone has a better idea of it, it's nothing like shitting on you. Say, hey, bud, your shit's work, or your work's shit.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's similar to what you said before about don't think of a project as your baby.
right? You just can't.
Because then you get offended by it, and you're like, oh, why would he critique it? And you're like, I thought I did. No. We're as a team, we want to make it a better finished product.
Yep.
Right. Like it always seems like in a lot of these classes, especially like, I mean, in conducting and all this other stuff, you know, playing trumpet lessons and all that, like I'd rather someone completely
Just destroy you.
Yeah, just destroy me and make me fall on my face, then I'm just still walking thinking that I'm in the right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to be destroyed continually, you know. But,
In the
No,
end,
but that
but,
makes
I
sense.
learned the most from
Yep,
that, because
exactly.
I think
Yeah.
because I'm able to like not get too down. Like I get to a point where I get down on myself, but that literally just drives me to the next, which makes sense though, guys, because I think that's I'd rather be constructive criticism, obviously constructive criticism, like getting shat in the face, instead of just being going personal. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, pressure creates diamonds, boys. And with
Wow.
that,
And
Nate,
with that,
give us the outro.
yeah, this was great, boys. Just getting, deep connections, making our friendship stronger.
Yep.
Loved it. And if you loved it, tune in to our next podcast sometime in January. I know Preston was kind of saying that throughout the podcast here. And then for past podcasts, if you liked this episode, go to our YouTube channel. Does not exist yet, so don't go tonight. But that YouTube channel will eventually be up. We'll send out an Instagram of what that new YouTube channel is. All previous podcast episodes will be on there. Spotify will hopefully be in the works over Christmas break as well. And so you'll be able to listen during your holiday commutes or wherever you're going on the road. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Thanks for listening on YouTube if that's where you're listening to this. Anyway, tune in for future streams.
Yep.
So thanks for watching.
We'll catch you later.
Adios.